Just let me breathe for a minute, man. Just let me breathe for a minute. Just let me breathe. It's too hot, drop the top off the wagon. Lay back, fire like dragon.
Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. We've got a good one on tap today, and there's going to be two quarterbacks ready to get it done on the gridiron. It's Wilson Seahawks going up against Cutler's Dolphins.
Thank you, Larry. It is a hot and humid afternoon as we get set for football in the southern part of the Sunshine State in Miami, Florida. This crowd a few minutes ago stirred into action at the side of their Dolphins emerging from the Hard Rock Stadium tunnels, and we're ready to go as the Dolphins get set to make. And look at this. Right away, a loose football. And I think he was able to get back on it. He was. So they will get the ball after all, but that could have been a disaster. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting to run. They'll begin the drive with Ajayi. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Ajayi. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, it's Cutler. Hard throw, incomplete.
So many offenses want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
Okay, look at this. The punt team nowhere to be found. They're on the sidelines. Offense going to go for this on the opening drive. Cutler will throw. And this is incomplete. A surprising move here on the opening drive of the game. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position. And a great spot to start this drive from here. Here's Thomas Rawls with his first carry. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
They go again with Rawls. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
So they've been unable to capitalize on the great field position as of yet. Here's 3rd and 9. Now Wilson. And they can't get the long connection as it falls incomplete.
They decided to take a shot and right down the middle of the field, and really, they didn't give it as much time to develop, did they? They want to take that shot somewhere around the 15-yard mark.
And the defense able to recover, bat it free. And Walsh able to convert it as his kick is good. And the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead. So they had great field position, but a 3-play drive that actually goes backwards, and then they kick the field goal.
And I think the key sequence in there, the key phrase you just gave us, a 3-play drive. Had the momentum, great field position, unable to move the football.
And, oh, he is really laid out that time. Knocked flat on his back. Then the Dolphins getting set to go here. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
That factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end. Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on 1st down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Now Cutler to throw on 2nd down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
Now Cutler looking to throw. And he fires one, but incomplete.
It's a great job by this secondary. When I watch them, they remind me of elite defenders on a basketball court, right? They want to contest each and every pass.
Great contest on 3rd down to bring up 4th. Now remember, they were unsuccessful earlier in this first quarter. Going for it on 4th. They're going to try a 2nd time. And he finds Stills, complete. He's at the 30, past the 20, and all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Kenny Stills, 79 yards. And the Dolphins are going to take a first-quarter lead.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Here's Franks now to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Second down following the run. from the shotgun. Wilson steps away to his left. Now he's going to throw deep back over the middle. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
What I loved about meeting with these coaches before the game is we didn't even have to ask any questions. They told us that they were going to be aggressive and push the ball downfield. They weren't successful on that play, but look for them to try it again later.
They snap it at 1. Now Wilson. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. Wilson to Lockett there for the Seahawk first down. Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen.
So 2nd and 9, the defense looking to put them in a bad spot here. Wilson. It's caught on the left side by Kurz. And he'll be out of bounds up near midfield at the 49. Wilson finding Kurz, and it's a Seattle first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
First down, this is Rawls. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. On 2nd down, here's Wilson. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
On 3rd down, Wilson. Out to the right here to Wilson. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he could scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. And finding the tight end, Wilson. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. Pete Carroll rolled the dice, but it didn't work out. And the Dolphins' defense is able to hold. Here's a handoff to Ajayi to begin the drive. And he will not only not get the yard he needed, he goes the wrong direction. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
Here we go now.
Now it's Ajayi. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run it and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the shotgun, Cutler. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowl safety Cam Chancellor. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball. And I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
And they'll start this drive with very good field position. Wilson going to give to Rolls. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Miami after this. And the offense behind the chains here, a touch on 2nd and 11. Now it's Wilson. Dancing to his left. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for third.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
And the Seahawks on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Off the fake to Lacy, here's Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. And this is going to be incomplete.
I know we're doing this game live, but let's step into the film room for just a second, because when they review this play, oh, the negatives are going to be incredible on this one. Rolling out to his right. Yeah, he's right-handed, so that's a natural spot for him. But he throws back across his body back into traffic.
Big no-no.
Oh, that's a monster no-no. The only good thing that happened, it fell incomplete. Very fortunate.
So it's an empty possession there, and you'd have to say it's not like him to come up short on a kick like that.
Yeah, and it's real easy for me to say this, but anything in the 40 to 49-yard range should be pretty automatic for an NFL kicker, especially in terms of at least getting it there. So you're right. That is a surprise if this would come up short.
They'll start out on the ground with Ajayi. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. 6 yards to go here on second down. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. The Dolphins on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. Here it's 3rd and 2. Now it's Cutler. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. Ajayi hit. He lost the football. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. The ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Devontae Parker, 50 yards. And the Dolphins head on to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of and imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. So the offense has it 1st and 10. Wilson. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. William Hayes in there to get him for a loss of 5. On 2nd down, Wilson. Airing one deep for Curse. And that's caught inside the 30. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Jermaine Curse as the first half is winding down. And the Seahawks have made this a one-score game. And he's got it. That cuts the lead. It's now 14-10. Here's Walsh now to kick this one off. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now Cutler on 1st down. They set up the screen to Ajayi. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. A good pickup there on 1st as the screen pass gets him 8.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
On 2nd down, Cutler. To the right side, and he's got Landry complete. A good pickup there of 20 yards. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. Final play of the half. It's Cutler. And Stills over the middle. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
And they extend their lead, a little added cushion into the lockers. What a way to finish.
Tremendous way. That's momentum that they carry in with them. Can they convert it and bring it back out to start the third quarter?
It's good, and it's 21-10. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. Fielded about a yard deep. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Second down now after the pass completion. From the gun, it's Wilson. The grab made by Kearse over the middle. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. And a nice gain of 21 yards. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. They'll throw on first down with Wilson. It's caught on the left side by Baldwin. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. And some changes here as the D-line separates some. A fake to Rawls. Now it's Wilson. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. Give him 30 yards there. And now a first down following that long gain. Again, Wilson. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. That's good for a gain of 6, second and goal. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his second catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him, and what a lot of teams...
And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Jimmy Graham from 3 yards out. And the Seahawks able to make this a close game again.
A good tight end is a heck of a weapon for any quarterback, especially when you're able to create some mismatches. Sometimes they work against a linebacker, sometimes they work against a smaller defensive back. But when they find it, they go to it, and it often results in touchdowns.
Well, I guess the coach looked at the 2-point cheat sheet and said, go for it, get it to a 3-point game, and they did it.
Yeah, and sometimes you just throw out time of game. You don't worry about that. There's just a feel sometimes in making that call, and he felt good about what he had for a 2-point conversion, and now they're only down 3 and feeling great about themselves.
And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together.
All right, now look at 56.
Gonna give this time to the tailback. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a first down. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. Now they'll look to throw it with Cutler. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Cutler now to throw on third down. And he finds Julius Thomas. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. Shipped together here from the D-line. Here's Cutler. Drops it off to Ajayi. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll make it a 2nd down. To throw again is Cutler. And that is incomplete. He was trying to hit Thomas that time, and it's 3rd down.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
Here's Cutler to throw. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get him to 4th down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Hurry up, here we go.
They'll try and throw for it with Cutler. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Cliff Averill in there to sack him for a loss of 6. Boy, you talk about not playing it safe. Why were they going for it there, Charles?
It's got to be a full evaluation of their team. Do they trust their defense in this situation? Maybe they think they've given all they can in this game and they don't have anything left. Do they not trust that the other team's quarterback is just so hot that no matter where they get the ball, they go downfield? Remember when Bill Belichick went for it in that game, right, against Indianapolis on the road, and everybody said, why'd you go for it there? I think he just thought to himself, on the other side, if they hit the ball, they're going downfield anyway. He was trying to end the game right there with his own offense.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. Now Wilson on 2nd down. He lets it fly for Lockett and got his man complete. The 30, 10, and all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Tyler Lockett, 84 yards. And the Seahawks have taken the lead here in the 4th. Might be seeing that one on the highlight shows tonight. The home run ball here in the 4th quarter to take the lead.
There's nothing like being aggressive, preaching that to your team, and then following through. All the way through. Go ahead and throw one more up there. Why not?
Been a great game, and we are not done yet. Here's Walsh now to kick this one off. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. Throwing here, Cutler. His throw incomplete. Parker the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
So this offense really needs to make something happen here late in the fourth with the football. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Cutler. And his throw here's incomplete. He was looking to get it to Jarvis Landry that time. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
There's so much precision in an offense, especially when you're throwing the ball. And in an out route, plenty of it. How about the quarterback hitting his back foot, ball's out of his hands, receiver making his break, making his cut. He's got to time up perfectly. Not always easy to do.
Just let him a little too much.
Yeah, I remember back in the good old days, I was talking to a quarterback, and he said everything they did was on the count system. So when he took a snap, he counted in his head for certain routes, different time frames for each one, and he knew if the ball wasn't out of his hand at that point, he'd better eat it because the play was dead.
And this is caught. He hits Landry. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. A big play there for the Dolphins. 30 yards.
We know it's tough enough to pick up first downs on 3rd down plays, but when you go for it on 4th down, sometimes you're actually just praying, and on that play, the prayer was answered.
So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. And leading here late, so a chance for the defense to really close out this game if they can halt the offense. On 2nd down, here's Cutler. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Jaycazzz, 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Dolphins have taken the lead here in the 4th. Now an important extra point here to stretch this lead to a field goal. He's got it, and this is indeed up to a 3-point lead. Here's Franks now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. On 2nd down, Rawls. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
Well, so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for him.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Back-to-back nice plays. 12 yards that time and a first down. Fresh set of downs here. And they're going to go soft on the corners. The 10th carry for Thomas Rawls. And able to He'll break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the fourth. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. They'll look to throw. Complete outright to Kurz. Now the Seahawks forced to use their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 45 seconds left to go in the game. And no press coverage here. They are backing off in the secondary. He'll look to throw. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. The intended target, Doug Baldwin. Third down here. This defense has watched their lead dwindle away. This is where they really need to bow up. They executed well there.
And it's often hard after you've played really well early, and then you kind of relax a little bit.
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
And that one, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to go up just short, as this is definitely not his best throw. And it'll wind up being intercepted.
Going to give this time to the tailback. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college, and how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee, and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
Well, I know at points in this when you